Okay, I'll open up the meeting of the Carroll County Commissioners for July 31st. The first item is public input. Anybody, public input? Daymond?
It sounded like somebody's frustrated with you.
What's that?
It sounded like somebody's frustrated with you. I hear you talking to Commissioner Babson.
Oh, there's people frustrated with us all the time.
I'm not surprised.
Lots of them.
You got good ears. Anybody else got public input? If not, then we'll move right into our agenda. And first of all would be the minutes.
Any corrections in the minutes?
I didn't pick up a copy.
Oh, you have no copy? I read it actually Saturday morning when you send it.
Do you want me to
I
copy?
read it in the weekend.
I have a copy.
Do you
here.
want to have another
If you
copy?
want.
Copy, please,
Yep.
yeah.
Did you have a chance to read it? Or?
Is that it?
Right there, yeah. And that's
Oh,
the
he has
addendum
it.
from-
Okay, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Oh, he
All
has a
right, there we
copy.
go.
Do you have any corrections, Commissioner?
Yes.
If you're already.
Oh, I haven't quite got finished with it yet. only 2 or 3 corrections, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, go ahead.
On page, the back of page 1, I guess that would be page 2.
Yep.
One picky and one typo. A letter was sent to the Sun. I would hope that we did say Director Chandler sent a letter to the Sun. That was concerning the cold food that was.
Yeah.
And it's sent, not set. A letter was set to the Sun
yeah.
and it's sent. And a few more lines down, the expense of the trip were borne by the state rather than the county, Carroll County. The expense of the trip were borne by the association, New Hampshire Association of Counties.
Okay.
Minor. These are excellent minutes. And page 4, I guess it is, discussing the purchase of new IT equipment for the nursing home. Maybe I'm overlooking it, but I don't see any recording of the vote taken. I see a motion, but I don't
Purchase
see
of the what?
the NTTA data.
Yeah, yeah, it's right there.
Where am I
Go
missing it?
ahead.
Oh, unanimously, okay, thank you.
On page one.
Wait a minute, maybe it isn't.
Okay, which page are you?
Commission voted unanimously to purchase the Mountain View Community software.
Yep, okay, yep.
No,
It's
we
there.
voted for it,
It's
yeah.
there.
But you
Yep.
had a correction on page 1.
Did?
Should be a representative, not representatives,
Oh,
right?
page 1. Am I calling 1 page 2?
Oh, wait a minute, maybe I'm on the wrong page here.
Okay, on page 2, I have a correction 2. It's municipal bonds
Yeah,
and not
municipal.
municipal and county. Just scratch out and county. And then on the next page, it's not MACO, it's NACO, N-A-C-O.
Oh, I see, here it is here, Michelle.
Yeah.
It's as well as a representative, not representative. I only got a call from one. And on the work session, I just ask you to put in Foster's Daily Democrat. And you got Concord
Yeah.
Monitor. And that's it.
Oh, hang on now.
Very good minutes.
It should be Foster's Daily Democrat?
Yes.
Foresters, yeah.
Just Foster from, we already have David down there. Was there already a correction made at page 2? Please, however, taking muni income, is it the, however taxing? Is
Where are you
that
looking?
It's the last word on page 1.
However,
Page 1.
however taxing muni, it said, income thus reduces attractiveness as investment. Is it municipality or is it, it said muni?
Muni
Well,
bonds.
that's
It's a short.
a
Oh,
frequently
you-
used
you-
abbreviation,
oh, okay.
but if
Oh,
it's confusing, I can change it.
Usually,
No, it's not.
I do. Okay, because I don't think that he said it, but that's fine.
Okay?
Now, do you prefer that I reissue the minutes or do an addendum for this many?
No, just make those
Corrections in it.
corrections on the one you have.
Okay, and
Okay.
reissue,
Yeah.
okay.
So the minutes looks very good. Very clear.
Your motion.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of July 27th.
As
2000
corrected.
You want to make the motion, Commissioner?
Go ahead.
No, I mean,
You
she
make
wants,
it.
I was making
You
it.
second it?
No, I just want to add, he said he makes a motion, but as corrected at the end.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you, but I was going to add that before you interrupted.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right, motion been made and seconded to accept the minutes. All those
Okay,
in
I'm
support of the
seconding.
motion, say aye.
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 And so voted. Okay, we have two contracts for auditing.
Want to do reports first?
Go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yep,
Reports.
go ahead.
I would like to thank all of those people that participated in Saturday's Carroll County Farm Day. I think it was by far the best. Kudos to the county extension and county employees here, Will and Wendy and all of Olivia put in. I don't think people understand how many hours went into planning that festivity. We had more people than we ever had, I believe. And I also would like to thank the two representatives that took the time to come and see what was going on, since they vote on the budget for the farm and
Who
the
were
corporate
they?
extension. Well,
I saw one.
one was Representative Ticehurst from Tamworth, and the other one, even more impressive, was Ed Butler, who lives the farthest of any representative in the county. He
Okay.
took the time to come down and see what was going on. And thank you to the two of them for representing the delegation. And thank you to everybody else that made it a very successful day.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. I wish there was a way that we could measure attendance and see if it really was more than last year. It seemed like it was, but it was a well-done day, and people should be thanked for it.
If anybody would like to make a donation, Mr. Senecal needs a new carburetor for his tractor.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it was,
No problem.
but it was flooding out more than it was working. But anyway, David, thank you very much for taking the time and coming and giving the rides that you could give.
And yourself for giving the
You and the
rides
bees.
by.
And the bees. And it was just a really nice day.
It was a good day.
It's interesting to me how many people got my wagon, and I have a chance to talk to them, didn't come from Carroll County. It come from other places.
Is that right?
Yeah, there was one couple from Texas. There was one from Florida. There were several from Rochester, and the ones that came came locally, but not Carroll County. I attempted to find out how they found out about Carroll County Farm Day, and I would guess, nothing scientific, but I would guess it was most of them had found out from relatives that had seen the advertising. And there were a lot of people. The people who were here visiting their how should I put it, parents with their children, but they were here visiting their grandparents who live in Carroll County.
I talked with one father who thought it was great that their kids was able to build bird coops that the county farm had cut out. All the kids had to do was fit them together and nail them. So that was good. And apparently the farm doubled the number of kits that they had available.
Yeah, we went from 25 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
And this year we thought it would be a good idea because you could use up 50 with 12 or 13 families around here. So we charged $1, and hopefully that would
Oh, is that right?
spread it out a little bit.
Okay,
And apparently it worked because they were still making a few of the last birdhouses around 3 o'clock.
Okay. You have anything further?
I'm fine, thank you.
You have anything, Commissioner?
Yeah, Farm Day was a nice day. It was a good turnout. I came here around 10 o'clock. And I have a question. I see here in the minutes, you said expenses of the trip were borne by the New Hampshire Association, then Carroll County.
Right.
But it is still taxpayers' money because I believe the New Hampshire Association of Counties is funded through taxpayers' money. Every county is paying dues. I believe we're paying, is it like $10,000 or $15,000?
If you want to go into that detail,
Yeah,
that's
so
true, but it's not itemized for my trip.
No, I just, the taxpayers are paying their dues every year, so. And from that pot, this probably paid out for other things. And I don't know if you have a chance to go to the commissioner's emails. This is about audits. We get from a company, it's said, Fetchon and FetchonClucay.com. So it is the Fetchon Clucay and Company. They are from Manchester. They sent in an email that they wanted to propose for the audits done in 2011 and 12. They asked actually the office a couple times about a copy of the audit of 2010, but there was never a reply. Therefore, regretfully, they are unable to submit a proposal. That is another company. Also, the email several times, the Representative Cordelli was asking also information. I don't think he ever get a reply about he wants to pick up the audits from 2010, 11, and 12. And also other info.
Who said, who?
Representative Cordelli. He sent a couple times an email.
I haven't seen it. This first I heard of it.
Well, I think this is the third email that he sent in. He sent it in
You
for
should
a
have
while.
brought that up at our meeting.
And also he wants to have the minutes from the IT committee. I think did you get my email?
I did. I'm trying to find them.
Oh, okay, because I think it was in the HR room. Yeah.
I'm still going through.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to locate those minutes.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can we take that up in work session? We got Willie sitting here. And Rob
Okay.
sitting here, and then give us all a chance to read it.
Okay. Anything further to report?
No, thank you.
Okay, we have two bids for auditing. As I said last week, I let Kathy Geary look at them and get some further information. The pricing is not to exceed in both cases. In the case of the one from
That's Berlin.
from
right?
Portland, the 2011 was not to exceed $19,758, and the other one from Nashua was not to exceed $25,250. On the 2012, the one from Portland was $20,745. The one from Nashua was $26,000. So those are the two. She said they both are qualified, both have the experience. I guess I would suggest maybe that we go with the least expensive one, which was from Portland, Maine.
If the audits are going to be done, can there also be audit done on the grants and all the trust funds?
Mr. Kenney ought to be able to find that in there if that's what the information she has.
Is this the note from Kathy Gary?
Interesting. Why does I wonder why the company from Portland wants $1,000 more to do the year before? More running around, maybe?
I don't know.
It doesn't say anything in the folder about it. It's just a question I had.
The company has a reasonable price, I see, for 2011 and 12.
Do I hear a motion to accept one or the other?
Did she check with them and call them? and
That's
have
what
all
the
the
note's for.
information. Yeah. This notice, she called, okay.
Both of them are not to exceed.
Right. So the one from Portland is not to exceed 19,758.
500. Okay. How much? 19?
19,000, so it's about
$19,758.
$5,000 cheaper than the ones from Nashua on 2011. And on 2012, it's roughly, again, $5,000 cheaper. So roughly close to $10,000 savings if we went with the one from Portland.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes?
We only budgeted for 1 year here. Where is the second year coming from?
We'd have to, find the money somewhere and put it from one line item, move it to another,
Okay.
which would have to, we can do that within that one budget item, but if it goes into somebody else's budget, then we gotta get delegation approval.
Okay.
But it needs to be done.
Yes, it does.
So again, do I hear a motion to approve one or the other?
Yes, we're going with the Ron Billier and Company.
Can you make a motion to do that?
Yes, I make a motion to,
Make a motion, please.
make a motion to approve Ron Billier and Company from Portland, Maine, to do the audits from 2011 and 12. 2011 is not to exceed 19,758, and 2012, 20,754.
Do I hear a second?
Wait a minute, what about this year?
That's 2011, 2012.
12, okay, I got it. That's gonna be a problem because, well,
13 isn't,
I'll
13
second
isn't
it.
in now.
yeah, but isn't our budget money for 13?
No, it's for Mason and Rich financial report.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have something to say. So we actually paying for an audit. 2011 will be $35,000, and 2012 will be like $35,000, 36. Because we're also paying for financial preparation for Mason, that's
But you're not- that's not-
$15,000.
You're not
But
making
still-
that in the motion.
No, I don't, but I'm
Okay.
telling you how much the audit is costing us.
Yeah.
The audit
Yeah.
is costing actually $35,000, and usually the audit counties are paying for a yearly audit between $20,000 and $25,000.
That's what was budgeted, is what you're saying. Okay, motion's been made and seconded that we accept the motion from
Ron Billier and Company from
Out of-
Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine.
And you have the motion, what I made?
Yeah.
Okay.
All those in support of the motion say aye.
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 I'm
Then
sorry, who seconded?
so voted.
Did you second?
Commissioner Babson
Commissioner
seconded.
Babson.
My other question is, what about 2010? Is also not the audit done?
We'll have to wait and see what that does. We'll have to put out another RFP for 10. Right now, we're talking about those two. Okay, Will?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Babson.
I'd just like to thank Willie for, on behalf of the commissioners, for just an outstanding job on Farm Day.
Yes, thank you for all your hard work. You did a great job.
Thank you very much. It was a team effort. There was a lot of people involved in putting that day on. We appreciate the thanks from everybody. Just a couple quick things for the commissioners this morning. Hay deliveries are still going out. Hay, obviously making hay has been a little slow with the type of weather we've had. Garden seems to be doing good. and we're going to start picking some stuff. I think summer squash, zucchini, cucumbers, those types of things will be coming on here within the next week or so. So we should be doing that. We're picking blueberries right now as we speak. I got a crew down there picking those. Still delivering out the bagged campfire wood. We got a crew went out Monday with the delivery, and then a crew going out again today with the delivery. So that's still going pretty good. We're going to start processing wood when we're not haying, probably either later this week or next week at the latest. But I want to start getting some stuff done up so that we can get more logs fit in there and whatnot. I also have, on that note, I also have to make a few calls this afternoon to the forester to see how we're progressing on our wood cut. Last I was told we were going to have something in July, but we're here at the last day of July, so we need to make some calls on that.
I did talk with her Saturday, and if I remember correctly, she's almost ready to go.
Okay.
And she said we would have a problem in our next cut that we're looking at softwood, a softwood cutting,
Right.
and not necessarily a hardwood, but I would hope that we could put in the bid both softwood and hardwood. When they are logging, they can cut both.
Right.
We've got to have hardwood for that processor.
Well, and one of the things that we talked about is possibly this hardwood cut, there may be enough for 2 years to sustain through that softwood cut.
Okay.
We'd have enough on the landing to get us through.
Okay.
That's something else we'll double check with her. But the other thing was, as we mentioned, was Farm Day. Thought that went very well. We had a lot of people here. All the commissioners, I want to thank all the commissioners for coming. Commissioners Babson had his horses out here, which was great. It seemed like you guys were full ride up a lot. Commissioner Sorensen with the bees, and I saw Commissioner Kenney around, so that was great. I just want to thank you for the participation. We had a couple of delegation members show up. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to have a few more, but we had what we had, and it was great that they showed up also to support the day.
Don't forget to thank Mother Pig. She was a huge hit.
Yes, she seemed to do
Kids
good.
absolutely loved the piglets. They were 2 days old.
You haven't reported on it, so maybe you should report on.
Yes,
that
last week, Thursday, she had a litter of 13. One was stillborn, so she's got 12 down there. They're all doing very well. She was worked out great timing to have all the kids. We had a ton of kids and people. There was times I was down at the barn, there was 30, 40 people in the barn to see the baby pigs, and my wife did an excellent job on talking about them and giving chances for people to see them and whatnot the best that we could with that, and it worked out very well. One other thing that I wanted.
How's the mother pig doing?
She's doing good. She doesn't have as big of an appetite as I would have hoped she would have by now, but she's slowly coming around. We've been putting some, I think she was a little constipated maybe, and we've been putting some stuff in to loosen her up a little bit. And, she's starting to come around, so
Good.
We've been getting her out at night and getting her doing some walking and trying to get things flowing a little bit better for her too. So now the nightly, when I let them out in the barn, the little babies jump out and run in the barn
right.
too. They kind of know it's a nightly ritual lately, and they enjoy it.
You have 2 other sows that are due?
I have 2 others that are for sure due in about 3 weeks, and then there's a 4th one. I'm not 100% if she's due or if she's even going to have babies. I'm not sure on that one, but the other 2 are supposed to be due within the next 3 weeks or so.
Are they? I got to make a comment. Are those pigs overweight? They're huge.
They've got a strict diet, so I don't think that they're over. I mean, they do look
They're
big.
huge.
Part of their problem is I had problems getting them bred because I had a boar that didn't work out, and so when they keep getting bred, as they're producing milk, it shrinks them down a lot, and so they're kind of been out of shape, if you will, because they haven't had piglets as quickly as they should have. So being bred and having the piglets, I think, will start to put them back into shape a little bit better. But I mean, they are big, but they only get, amazingly, less than 3 pounds of grain in the morning and less than 3 pounds at night. So they're averaging around 5 to 6 pounds of grain a day is all they pretty much get.
The pigs that we used to have here were a Landrace Yorkshire cross, and so they were long and narrow.
Yeah.
And yours probably more Yorkshire?
They have some Yorkshire in them. They have the boar that's out there for these young ones that are born are half Duroc. The parents also have some of those big spotted ones, like the mama right now has got some spotted Poland China, and they're kind of a mixed breed with a little bit of everything. A couple of the other ones from the boar I had last year are Hampshires, so they got a little bit of mixture and everything in them. They are a tall pig and a big pig, but
Okay.
the last thing I had to mention is I got a letter through the email that I wanted to read, and unfortunately I can't tell you too much about the gentleman, but I must have met him and gave him my business card because he got my email address. But he sent out a nice letter and wanted me to pass it on to the committee, and I'd just like to take a second just to read it real quick, just a paragraph. It said, "Will, could I ask you to please forward this heartfelt thank you to the people you coordinated with at the University of Cooperative Extension, the Carroll County Farm Bureau, 4-H, etc., to thank everyone for a very enjoyable 2013 Farm Day. Since my family moved up to Wakefield back in 2006, we've gotten more involved in our land use, clearing timber, raising some livestock, and growing a progressively larger garden each year, all on 3/4 of an acre. But we still have a lot to learn, and you managed to make it informative and fun for us. And we range from age 8 to 46 years old. Folks are friendly, well-informed, and provided plenty of hands-on activities. We spend the better part of the day there at a minimum expense, which is unfortunately critical on our budget. Thanks again. We are already looking forward to the following up with some of the people and organizations we met there in next year's Farm Day." So
Great.
it was a nice gentleman that wrote a letter, and I just thought it was very informative of things, and I just wanted to pass it on.
Okay, good, thank you. Go ahead.
Also,
Commissioner?
Will is offered a pig to the nursing home if the nursing home will pay for the butchering. So I think that's something we ought to think about.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Anything
Thank you
else?
for a great effort, Will.
I know you want to speak, but you can do that in public.
Well, I had a question for Will.
Well, ask him afterwards.
Yeah. Anything else, Will?
I don't have anything.
Okay, you'll have to ask him after.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
Okay, Jason?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jason, did the corrections have any kind of something for the display for Field Day on Saturday? I noticed you were there, and I didn't know why you were there, but...
No, I just stopped up real quick. No, we did not have anything.
Okay.
It didn't pan out, so maybe for something that we can shoot for next year.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Good to see you there, anyway.
Thanks.
Well,
What?
let's not forget that a lot of the effort put in on this around here was put in by the prisoners in the House of Correction, setting stuff up, taking it down, cleaning up.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they did not do nothing. They did quite a bit.
Yep.
The population this morning, we have 46 in-house with 4 weekenders, 3 electronic monitoring, 13 transfers, 1 on pretrial release, total population of 66. Took in 23 inmates last week, 16 were repeaters, and 20 were released. The reason why I come over today is because I developed an RFP for our vendor records system and our telephone system. Our contract is up with our present vendor in November, so I'm going to be putting that out to bid. I'd like to put that out for Friday. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys do not have to approve that language, correct? Because I have the RFP all ready, I can bring it over today.
If it's a contract, we have to approve it.
You have to approve the contract, but you don't have to approve the RFP,
Right,
right?
right.
All right, so I can send that out
Yeah,
today.
I would
Friday.
like, I think what should happen is it should pass through the IT committee, anything dealing with computers or telephones.
Okay.
Just so that they would be the watchdog to make sure that all our systems are similar.
Okay.
I know,
The
I just let it pass through the IT committee. And you must have somebody on that IT committee, right?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Captain Fowler's on it, is he not?
I don't believe he is.
No,
sir.
I think,
it's Sergeant Medina, actually.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah.
thought it was lieutenant. Okay.
A question, Jason, what again are you gonna put out?
It's the offender management system, our records management system for bookings and everything that deals with an offender. And also our inmate telephone system, just not tied into the office system at all. So basically it's a standalone system.
So you're putting two different things out, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But typically what will happen in this type of setting is that a telephone vendor will also partner up with a records management
Okay.
vendor, and they bring a package in. When is the IT committee meeting again? Because this is
You got one?
time sensitive.
Just had one, or?
No, Becky in the nursing home is going to be heading that up.
Okay.
She's the chair, so we can just talk with Becky and see if she has a date set for a meeting, but maybe we can call it a meeting.
Yeah, because this is,
Yeah.
it's time sensitive.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
okay.
And then
And the RFP went out to how many?
it hasn't
where?
gone out yet.
Oh, it hasn't gone out yet?
No.
Okay.
So you want me to bring it to the IT committee before I put it out?
When's the IT committee meeting?
We actually don't have one scheduled yet, she
Okay.
just got the information.
Then send it out and make
Okay.
sure it goes to 3 different sources.
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
What is your timeline? You said it is,
The contract that we have now is up in November.
okay. The contract with who? The-
Right now it's with GTL.
Okay.
And the other thing I'd like to say is that House Bill 224, which gives the authority to the superintendent to place an offender out on administrative home confinement, has been passed. It's been signed by the governor, and it takes effect in September. I'm not sure if you saw that email come out from
I didn't see
Peggy
that,
or not.
no.
So that's all set.
So you'll be able to make the determination if
Yes, sir.
an inmate can go out and
What,
on a bracelet.
what type of an inmate? I mean, not
It'll
all
be a
inmates.
sentenced offender.
A what?
It'll be a sentenced offender.
They have to be sentenced?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And then they'll go through our policy and we'll make sure that they meet the criteria, and then we'll be able to send them out. We do have to notify the court, and it gives an opportunity for the prosecutor to rebut, and then a hearing at the request of a prosecutor will be scheduled. But if no hearing is requested, then the decision stands and the person's placed.
So that's a limitation. You have to go through the prosecutor?
We have to notify the court, and then the court, as I understand it, will notify
Okay.
the prosecutor and the defense.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir?
I get some questions.
Go ahead.
On this list,
sir.
Jason, what is SPU?
The secured
Spear.
psychiatric unit.
Okay. And why are we taking in prisoners from Maine?
That person actually is housed in Maine. He had we have him on our books for a capias out of our county, but he also had charges out of Maine, so he's over in Maine. That's why he's under the transfer list.
So, well, then I'm reading it wrong. This transfer list is both in and out?
Those are people that are out, belong to us.
That's where they're located now. They belong to us.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I was looking at this as they belong to other people and we had them here.
No.
So, if they get arrested, if they're from Ossipee and they get arrested in Stratford County, they go to the Stratford County Jail, obviously.
If
Why
they have
is that?
Stratford County charges. If
Right.
we have people out of the facility because we're either holding people from another facility, or we have problems housing them in our facility, so we transfer them out.
So that's the SPU.
Correct.
Okay.
Or any one of those facilities. We have, as you'll see, we have a couple at the state prison as well.
Right.
Yep.
So if somebody creates an issue here in Ossipee and is caught in Stratford County, did that person come back here, or do they stay in Stratford?
If the charges originate from our county, then they'll come back to us.
They come back to you? They're just picked up in Stratford, okay.
So let's say they've got a warrant for arrest in Carroll County,
Mhm.
and they get picked up for burglary or shoplifting or speeding in Stratford County.
Mhm.
What happens then?
So the charges will be handled in Stratford, and then once those charges are handled, then they'll come up to us.
So that person would be housed in Stratford County until those issues are settled.
Correct.
Okay.
At their expense, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to follow up a little bit on federal inmates.
Okay.
Is there any status, what's the status of that now? I know Captain Fowler brought in a,
He reached out to the contact at the federal, with the federal marshals.
Right.
And he has not had a response yet from them.
okay,
So I can follow up and he can reach out to them again. I'm not sure why they haven't responded, but
Okay.
I can have him look into it.
Well, last
Yeah,
I
and-
knew, he requested if we had any questions, and I gave him a list of questions.
Right, and he had sent those out to
And that's what
his
he's waiting
contact,
for an
and he's
answer
just
for.
waiting the response.
Okay.
Yep.
okay,
All set?
thank you.
Thank you.
And you're coming back at 10
10,
o'clock?
yes.
Okay. Ann?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My main reason for asking to come was to discuss the parking lot.
You gotta speak up a little bit more. I can't hear you myself. Or I can't make it out.
Microphone.
My main reason for coming
Yep.
and asking to be on the agenda was about the parking lot.
Yep.
But I just thought I'd bring you up to date on, because I've
Yep.
done a half year now. And despite what you're hearing with the news, that houses are flying off the market and so forth, our income is down $6,000 from what was the
Income is
same
down.
point last year. Yep.
Huh.
Which is why I'm glad I was very conservative in my
Yeah.
estimate. That doesn't mean anything. We've got the summer. I look at what kind of income we had the last half of last year, which
Mhm.
was when it was at its heaviest, and it may follow.
I hope it does.
I certainly hope it does too.
Okay.
In regards to the parking lot,
Yep.
we asked some time ago, in fact, it was before the nursing home began, if we could have some lines put in the parking lot.
Yep.
And we were told that the parking lot would be taken in as
Surfaced.
consideration when we did the nursing home and had to do the improvements to their entrance and so
Yep.
forth.
Yep.
But this side of the driveway has had no attention.
Mhm. Do
I'm
you
not-
think there's a problem of cars being parked out there?
Okay.
It looks like there's plenty of spaces.
I'm not trying to be fresh. This morning looks pretty good, okay?
Okay.
But there are other times, what we're having, in the summertime, what we have is more people coming in and using, whether they're coming to the sheriff's department or they're coming to look up stuff in our office.
Yeah.
But we get a lot more, the average citizen coming to deal with whatever problems. We have, I don't know what the amount of people, the amount of staff in the county attorney's office it is at this moment.
Yeah.
But between the various offices within the building, there's a lot of staff.
Yeah.
And then you add to it the people who come in who are using the facility for the purposes we're here.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be difficult, especially, there are
Okay.
times I come in and there's this great big gap between, but it's not room for two cars. It should have room for two cars,
Yeah.
and
But I never see anybody parked way in the back on this side.
some of my staff park in the back.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, they
I've
do it
never
for
seen it
shade,
full,
if
I guess.
nothing else.
Okay.
Well, knowing that we sometimes have training sessions or whatever here, but
That's
I
true.
actually think it's more, there's more to that than just the parking. I
Mhm.
frankly can go out there with paint myself, if it helps.
Mhm.
We come in later than the rest of the
Yes, you do.
staff,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
have a little bit different problem.
Change your time. Come in earlier.
Well, the world isn't key with us being here 9 to 5, so
Okay.
we work the
Okay.
bank hours, because a
Okay.
lot of things we do have to do with banks, so.
I would suggest that Gwinnett has a safety committee and that goes through the safety committee and reported again through them.
Okay.
And that is going to be meeting shortly.
Yep.
So,
Well, it's
and that's in
more-
regards to the parking area and the lining of the parking. And now you had another problem with the walks.
Well, there is, the same situation exists in the parking area too. There are some uneven surfaces.
Mhm.
And right now, this is dry weather. Well, I say dry, we had a lot of rain. And
Yeah.
we're navigating puddles. When the winter comes, that becomes a bigger safety issue because that's where it puddles and turns into ice.
Yeah.
And we have that problem in the parking lot as well as in the, I just coming in advance and.
That particular problem would have to be budgeted for. We'd have to
Yep.
put that in the budget for next year.
Well, I just thought maybe there was some temporary things we
Yeah.
could do to make things better, that's all.
I don't think patching would help in the walkway. I don't know that much about it.
I'm the
but I
last
know-
person that should be here today. My driveway's washed out about 4 times in the past few weeks. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand the issues with trying to, I just thought I'd bring it before so we
Yeah,
could talk
yeah.
about it at a time when it's not
Okay,
crucial.
and the safety committee would handle that, and we'll go from there?
That's it.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman?
thank you. Yes.
I had it down
Commissioner Babson.
for work session, but I promised a couple of workers from the registry that I'd bring it up this week. We changed the smoking policy over at the nursing home. We left it up to Howie, I believe, to select the areas. But I couldn't answer the question. I remember it as being just a nursing home. Did that policy
was.
change take effect? I didn't believe it took effect for the registry. And if it doesn't, I think that we ought to do the same thing. It's ridiculous. These people go out and sit in their car and smoke and come in and stink of cigarettes and,
There's only one person in my, and she,
well, I've talked to 3 people in the last week. Some were not employees.
not employees, no,
Um,
exactly.
So I think in fairness to everybody, we ought to have the same situation, that Ann is capable of finding a place for the people to smoke, which would be the parking lot, which is big enough for everybody.
Well, I think
and,
other people, there's, I'm sure there's somebody in the county, I don't know who else smokes
Yeah.
here, to be honest with you. I just know I have one staff member that does, but she always goes in her car with the
Yep.
windows open so that she's,
Commissioner, you're
Compliant.
exactly right. It was done for the nursing home to see how it was going to work out, but I agree totally with you that as long as we designate an area for this building, then they don't have to smoke in their cars. They can smoke in that designated area.
yeah,
Well, then I'll make a motion that we allow Ann Ayton and
It goes for the jail too?
Kathy
That's not
Carey
bad.
and Jason Johnson to designate areas in their particular areas for smoking for people outside the building.
Second it.
well,
Any further discussion?
Yes.
Go
Why
ahead.
does N8 has to do it? If it
Yes.
is the administration building,
Yeah.
we have also other offices here.
the
Yeah.
sheriff's.
So somebody else
County
should
attorney.
come and have a designated area for the whole administration building.
Well, I messed up. I said Kathy, Gary, and you. I should have added the sheriff and the county attorney.
Okay, would Commissioner Kenney select that area for the administration building?
I will.
All those in support of the motion?
Well, I made the motion to include those 4 people in the discussion. You just
Okay.
made it to change to, Commissioner Kenney would make the decision. Which way is it going to be?
Well, since it's an administration building, and since we're here and we're responsible for it, I think it should be us.
Okay, well, then I will change my motion to be, Commissioner Kenney will find a place where the employees for the administration building and the jail,
And Jason will find it for the jail.
and Jason will find it for the jail,
Okay.
can smoke outside.
Is that a safety committee issue? I'm just asking.
I wouldn't think so.
Safety committee? Well, I think we
I
could
don't know.
override the safety committee if this is the case for smoking.
Just one other thing that I had made a note of is we have handicap spaces on this side of the building and none on this, so that might be another, I don't know what the law requires, but it might be something we,
That should go to them.
okay?
Okay. All right, the motion is that that Commissioner Kenney select the site for non-smoking, for smoking at the administration building, and Jason Johnson select the site at the jail.
I'd like to
Correct?
see that done within the next week.
Okay? That's been seconded, I'll second it. All those in support of the motion say aye. Aye. And so voted.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Okay, Howie? And thank you, people, especially the one that's ahead of Crusaders. Apparently, they did quite well Saturday with donations. I heard this morning.
Yes, they did.
So thank the person who initiated that group again, and those other people that have helped
It's been quite a
that program.
It's been quite a, I don't know, solidarity for the county, because we had a mixture of so many
Yep.
people involved.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, I missed Farm Day last week.
Morning, Howie.
Good morning, Commissioners. For those of you that might have been around campus yesterday and wondered what was going on at 6 in the morning, again at 3 in the afternoon, and the supervisors held a car wash for free car washes for LNAs. This is LNA week in Mountain View. So,
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
so we all got out there, and I think we washed over 20 cars yesterday. So it was appreciated by the LNAs.
Excellent.
Too bad it wasn't done on a
Nice.
Wednesday. I'd bring my truck over.
Well, I know you'd have to be an LNA though. That's
You have to be an LNA?
you have to be an LNA. This is LNA Recognition Week.
LNA week.
Oh, I didn't get the story straight. It's for LNA week,
Yeah.
Correct.
For
and,
LNAs.
And supervisors wash their cars.
oh, supervisors watch the LNA's cars.
Exactly so.
I got it.
But if you want to be an LNA, there's still...
No, I don't think I do.
Well, there's still time, because I was going to report
No,
Patty,
no.
actually,
I
Patty...
won't apply for that
You
job.
won't, well, you'd have a hard time getting into our class. The fall class is already oversubscribed.
Really?
The class size is actually limited by the state to not more than 8, and I think Patty now has some 12 applicants.
Really?
So we don't know how many, and not all will actually make the course, but it looks to be fully subscribed. So
All right, can they have a second one?
in fact, Patty's considering whether or not maybe a spring one would make
Could
sense.
it be earlier than that?
Why can't we run it?
Another one this fall?
Coincident.
I don't know that Patty can do 2 at the same time.
Not two at the same time, but have one.
It's
How long do they last?
And I'm guessing here, I believe it's either 8 or 12 weeks,
Oh,
and possibly longer. So I think we'd be looking probably at spring for another session. But it works out well, because it allows us to train some of our own people. I think we have 2 of our people who are transitioning from other roles, housekeeping to LNAs.
really?
But it also allows us to bring in outside people who we then essentially recruit from. We
Mhm.
find the best of the best,
Yeah.
and be able to offer them jobs and keep our staffing up.
Yeah.
So Patty's doing very well with that. She's very pleased at the response. that she-
How many days a week does that course meet, Hal?
I believe it's 2, but it could be 3.
So we couldn't run one Monday and Wednesday and the second one Tuesday and Thursday?
Not and have Patty do everything else that she's also doing in infection control.
She's a full-time.
She's.
I know, but can't we lighten her load and shift it around if she's gonna be doing the courses?
Well, if we could, right now, we're actually running without an assistant director of nursing or clinical coordinator. So Patty is functionally the assistant director of nursing. We're already running pretty slim.
Okay. well,
Becky is wonderful, and that has not been a position that we've even tried to fill. There have been more important things. So this would be a difficult time, long-term, if we decided to get into the education business. Patty'd be a wonderful one to do it, and it would be great to do, but I think our next step would probably be to offer a spring one, to go twice a year instead of once a year. And if that ends up being full, then maybe we need to have multiple sessions, or go to 3 times a year, or multiple sessions at the same
I
time.
think you can tell by the 2 of us at least that it'd be nice to have an extra session following this one. If we got people out there that would like to have a job, we could help create some jobs by having that class. So take it under consideration and see if Patty can put on another one following this one. If we have those numbers that you're talking about, then maybe we should try to have one.
Well, point's well taken, because there's a number of benefits to the county.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's actually financial. We actually make money. Although it's a wonderful program the state has, and LNA completing the course and then choosing to work is reimbursed for his or her cost of
Oh, really?
of tuition, but the county keeps the tuition no matter what.
Huh.
So
Okay.
it's lucrative. It's not terribly lucrative, but it's a positive cash flow for the county. But as importantly, it gives us that insight to people who might want to work here. And at the very least, even if they go someplace else, they still know who we are and where we are, because the road is long. The aide we train today that might go to the hospital or some other nursing home 3, 4, or 5 years from now might
Yeah.
come back to us.
And it creates jobs.
Well, it doesn't create jobs, but
Because they can find a job somewhere else if they get the qualifications.
well, it's true. I mean, it improves their individual situation, and right now, there is increasing demand both in home care, assisted living, and nursing. So
Right.
it's good for the county,
Yeah.
for us to do this.
We also learned that it gets us a reduced rate on the Microsoft licensing as being, according to the
Education.
gentleman from Stratford County that came to that meeting.
Well, and that has borne fruit. We got confirmation from John last week that the group that we get that reduced price from TechSoup has come through.
Mhm.
And as a result, we're talking possibly savings of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
It's typically in the license fee for something, for the most commonly used Office products, say Office Word. You know, instead of paying $100 a copy, we can be paying $3 or $4 or $5 a copy. So it's a license. We're not actually buying the software. We download the software, but in order to be legal and honest, we have to license it by the number of users that can use it.
Mhm.
And it's tremendous savings. And it came about because, now I'm forgetting his name down there in Stratford. But because.
He brought it up at the meeting that was up at Sunnyville.
Yep, and realized that we could be considered an educational institution, and lo and behold, he was exactly right. That wasn't just theory.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I thought when I brought it up just now, you were shaking your head that it wasn't happening, but
Oh,
it is
it's done.
happening.
It's not only happened, but as of last week, it's done.
Good.
And we're having these servers, John's actually in today doing a number of things, but hopefully, I'm hoping that as early as next week, we'll be getting our server. And what John's able to do with that money is actually been able to improve some of the things that we're buying. So essentially, for the same dollars, we're getting a much greater value computer-wise, thanks to TechSoup, and I think his name is Roger Smith from Stratford
It
County.
is Smith. Yeah, it is Roger.
Roger Smith.
Yep.
David?
Following question, do you know how many people that take the LNA class are from Carroll County
I don't.
or from outside?
Although well, I shouldn't say all, because, sometimes we actually do have people that even cross the border from Maine.
From Maine?
But I think they were all local, but that's
Yeah, just find out.
because we only advertise locally, so
Mhm.
we're not sending the net out too far.
Okay.
Mostly to save money, but it's local people.
Okay. Commissioner?
Holly, going back to the LNA training, is it possible for us to hire an outside individual to come in and hold a class?
No, definitely.
Why wouldn't that work? If our people are so busy, why couldn't we have a second one that we fund the instructor?
Get
a budget
for it?
I mean, that is an option that we've never thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start thinking about it.
No, let me explore that, because I need to check with Patty. I'm not sure whether the program gets certified or the instructor gets certified.
I think the instructor,
And that could be material. It needs to be a nurse, but I'm not sure what the credentials of the nurse are, or whether Patty supervising that other person might meet the requirements,
Yeah.
but that's what we're looking into.
they all individually, I believe, classes have to be approved by the state.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
So whether this would be considered a separate class or part of a graded class, I don't know. But
Okay.
we'll all get an education in the next week, because I want to find out
Okay.
for you.
It'd be interesting to know how many Carroll County residents are in that class, and should they have priority?
Well, I think definitely they should have priority.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's something that we've established that has gone pretty much unchallenged. Carroll County or some direct connection to Carroll County. You know, and that has worked out well with our admission policy, whether that's the parent of a Carroll County resident or a Carroll County resident. You know, if this were a child of a Carroll County resident, but I think we want to serve, I think we want to give preference to the Carroll County connection.
Yep.
Told you about the computer update. Contract renegotiations. Becky and I have begun a series of meetings with healthcare providers. There's actually an early concern that was brought up by Commissioner Babson actually some time ago, that some of our, I think you brought up, you know, here we have contracts with doctors, and can there be competition? Well, we're looking at all those agreements and talking and meeting with healthcare providers to see exactly what we can do. To that end, we have today we start a new program. They're actually in-house as we sit here. They're in-house. We have 14 people being seen by a new provider providing eye health. They're visiting. They're doing it for the assigned rate. They're actually able to take care of residents who can't get out to see the eye doctor, and it's actually saving us money, time, and energy. But we're also looking at renegotiating or negotiating with existing providers and new providers that could be even bigger ticket items.
Who pays for that?
Medicare and Medicaid.
So we don't pay for that doctor to come in?
No retainer, no fee, no...
Because there is a program through National Association for dental, for eye care. They have to pay, but it's like $89 for a family. And with one visit to the eye care doctor, takes care of that $89 very quickly. But if it's all paid by Medicare, Medicaid, then as long as there's no cost to us,
it is on the
and no cost to the individual.
It is on the eye side. The dental part is a whole nother matter that I'd like to talk to you about.
Okay.
The dental part isn't reimbursed, and that is that we're paying a retainer each month to bring in a dentist. It's interesting, from the state level, you're required to provide dental service, but they're not obligated to reimburse you for it.
Yeah.
So we have the requirement to provide it, but it comes out essentially as a net expense.
And before I forget, it's okay for the inmates too, this program. So if an inmate has to have dental work done, it behoove us to pay the $89 or whatever it is, and have them and put it in for that particular inmate. It'd be cheaper that way than paying the full load.
Where would I find out about the dental side of things?
Downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah. It has to be approved. That's why if we have the doctor or that dental clinic, whatever it is, we send that to the National Association. They will do the follow-up to make sure that they get approved to handle that particular program. We don't have to go out and solicit dentists to participate.
So do we need to subscribe individual residents ahead of time? Like an insurance policy?
We need to get the approval first. That's what we'd be working on.
Okay. No, that's...
And that will happen today. We'll ask one of the girls downstairs to come up with a list of all the dentists in the area in Carroll County. It's all Carroll County now we're talking about.
Okay.
Because we are 100% participant with the National Association. Again, the dues situation, that is available to us. If we didn't have 100%, we wouldn't have that available.
Now, the challenge with dental will be, will local dentists actually come on site to provide the service?
Okay, yeah.
And now we do have a dental contractor who I believe is out of county, who does come in.
Okay.
Here of county.
Right. Well, once we get that name, and it's being used here.
Okay, it's being completely used here,
Yep.
because he's coming to us once a month.
Okay, yep, go ahead.
But isn't he's a mobile dentist, is he
Correct.
not? He has his equipment
He
with him, and
brings all his own
we're
equipment.
not prepared to do dental work over here
No.
with picks and whatever else you have to have, drills and...
Oh, no, he does just about everything.
This guy, this doctor does, but I'm saying if he has everything in his van, what do we have over here if we were not to use this individual?
They have to send them out.
We'd have to send people out.
We'd have to send them out, and then we have to...
And that's both
additional costs there.
expensive, uncomfortable, and many dentist offices aren't set up to handle, they're not fully accessible.
So what happens?
Well, we're lucky, we have the dentist come here.
He comes here.
Okay,
he signs
but I
it
mean,
every
if we
month.
didn't have them,
It'd be
you
the
mean they
same.
wouldn't take one of our our residents?
Well, we have one resident that we could not find an eye doctor who would take him because of, because of physical constraints. So now we're very lucky because we have the eye doctor coming in. But the interesting part is we don't have to pay the eye doctor to come in, the same way that we have to pay the dentist to come in.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
I've been informed this week that the architect, Engelbrecht Griffin Associates, EGA, notified us that we are up for a potential design award at a fall conference. So
really?
which is wonderful. And in fact, the design that you all made possible is actually, near as our architect can find, unique in the municipal sector.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've been approached and are applying for a special award. So there'll be more forthcoming on that. But I contributed to the award application, and that has been sent out. So that would be great for the county.
Yep.
Will that be coming with a $22 million prize so that we can
Offset?
reimburse the taxpayer?
But truth is, the only one who really benefits is the architect on that.
Yeah,
But
that's what that was my
but we get
point.
to bask in the reflected glory. Two things that I want to bring your attention to, that, and both are pretty much when you walk into the building. As you walk into the front lobby now, you'll see that there's a new stand that holds the sign-in book. And you might not even notice it because it looks like it was built to be part of the building. And that was actually designed by Ken Layton, one of our maintenance staff. It even includes the wallpaper for the walls. Now, what you probably don't remember is that before that was there was an ugly metal file holder on the outside of Lisa's reception desk. And it always looked institutional, always looked nasty. But Ken came up with this wonderful idea that not only is practical, it steers people away from the corner where there's a transition in flooring that used to be a tripper. So now we have an attractive solution that's also enhances safety. Now, as you go around the corner and you enter into the administration and office end, a lot of things have been well planned and well designed, but there wasn't any plans for a message center, a place where residents or where staff members where we could leave something for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the solution for the first year and a half was to have a cart with file folders on it.
Mm-hmm.
Neither practical nor attractive. Now, another one of our staff members, Rich Whiting, recycled. What he did was scavenge from the old building
Mm-hmm.
a base cabinet that he refinished. And he also did something very unique with Bob's help. Took a old Formica countertop, an old ugly Formica countertop that, with the magic of the finish they put on it, it looks brand new and it gives it a texture and everything else. But here it was something else that was sitting next door, and then took some metal file sorter that was also in the old building.
Mm.
So essentially, with no material cost, created something that saved us something in the order that would have cost us about $1,000 to replace. So just like you to know that within our ranks, we've got some talented guys and gals that are doing a lot of wonderful and interesting things. Not the least of which are, of course, in fact, probably the most important of which are our LNAs. And in this week, we have different things going on each day to help recognize the people who are really the front line in direct care. They're the ones that are doing it day in, day out.
When people like that do something special, you need to let us know, and we should be able to send them a note too from the commissioners,
Right.
thanking them for doing something extra besides their job.
Well, actually, my hope is, and my plan is that with your permission at the next morning breakfast that you attend, to actually have you meet them, introduce, and get a picture with you, thanking them, because they give them the recognition they need. But I thought it doesn't hurt for you to get a little heads up early on, just so you can see what's going on, because we want to do that recognition more and more. And of course, nothing keeps us from bringing them over here. But I was thinking in terms of the graphics, if I get a picture of you next to them with the stand and next to them with the box,
And post it.
It looks all the more imposing, impressive.
And thank you for the letter regarding the cafe that you put in the newspaper.
Well, as I understand it, that original letter that was written was carefully...
Not regarding cold food, but regarding recognizing the cafe for producing excellent
They do a great
service.
job. and just didn't want there to be any confusion with a negative letter that was written about another facility.
Yep.
That some people could have easily confused, it not being identified, left open the possibility, didn't want anybody to assume that it could ever be here.
Yep.
Because Rob and his staff do a great job, and they were personally offended.
Which leads me to another question, how's Rob doing?
He's in good spirits.
What's the matter with him?
He's been sick.
He's sick, so he's been out on medical leave. Spoke with him on Sunday morning. He's hopeful that things will be back, and that he'll be back as early as next week.
Problem with medication that he was taking, I think.
Reactions are a difficult thing, but he's optimistic and looking forward to getting back as soon as possible.
Okay, and who's doing his work?
Mary is doing the backup. She's doing the day-to-day, and I promised Rob that although Rob is remarkable in that as a manager he has learned to cross-train everybody. So while I'm checking in a lot more than I ever have, it's almost not needed.
Mm-hmm.
Met with Mary yesterday, go in and meet with the staff, but it runs. He's got a smooth running operation there, so
Mhm.
it's actually going very well. We can't take for granted that it could ever run without him, but it's more than able to for a week or two.
Short period of time, yeah. Okay. Do we have all vacancies filled at the nursing home now?
For staff or residents?
Staff?
We're still looking. We need to. In fact, I've been meeting with Becky. We're using too many per diems, so we need to start moving from per diems that are virtually regularly scheduled to creating more part-time positions. So while they're not technically open, we do have a maintenance position that is open.
That's been advertised, though, I believe.
Well, that was advertised.
Correct?
Well, that was filled,
Okay.
but it has also been vacated.
It was filled, but he left.
He left.
Okay,
So it is now open again.
okay,
So I don't believe it's been re-advertised yet, because that was
Okay.
only last Friday.
okay.
So we do have that as a vacancy, but we do not have any other standing openings in health services other than our move to try to create scheduled positions rather than on-call positions, so that we have greater dependability.
Yeah, okay. I know a couple of the staff have been over here filling in for our maintenance person in this building. And we need to thank them also.
Yeah, Bob is very flexible that way, and
Yeah.
he's actually been doing that at a time when he's actually been one guy shot for most of it, and then
Yeah.
training somebody else during the other time.
It's interesting, 2 people come over to replace our maintenance person here. I think what they're doing, though, is they're doing it in half the time.
I would hope so, because they're not spending much time over here when they are over here.
Right.
But it's typically Al, and Al's a pretty organized guy, so I would assume there's a reason for it.
Another question I have for you. We need to, I know Becky has been overloaded, but we need to get the money to the LNAs that the delegation approved.
She spoke with me about that yesterday, and that is all scheduled to happen, and will be retroactive.
Okay, we need to see that. Okay?
Do you want to see
Is
that? Before-
Is that part of the union? It should be part of the union contract, right? LNAs are in the union.
Well, it is, but the nature of this is that as long as, my read of the collective bargaining agreement is that as long as it doesn't exceed what somebody else is making, that it can't, it's not changing the collective bargaining agreement. Collective bargaining agreement allows for increases in starting rates as long as it doesn't exceed an existing union member's wages.
In the past, we've always gotten permission from or approval, I shouldn't say permission, approval from the union to do that, and they've always done it because it helps their people. Would you check on that?
Howie and I can discuss that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's certainly no problem. I mean, we know, in fact, this has been done in collaboration with the union people, so we know there's no opposition to it.
Yeah, but I think where there's money involved, I think the Board of Commissioners needs to have a final approval on it. I know the delegation approved it. But I think, at least I would like to see it, the names and whatever.
No, I'm glad you said something, because I know Becky is,
I know she's had her plate full. On the other hand, when it comes to money, people like to have it in their hands,
they do.
even though it's retroactive.
No, but I
okay.
do know that she's working on it and actually has a list all set to go,
Okay.
so that your timing is perfect, but I'm glad you said something so that we didn't go forward blindly. That's all I
Anything
have
else?
for you.
Any
Well,
questions?
Thank you for your help and you and your employees for help with the Farm Day.
Farm Day was very interesting. That was fun. I did very little, but the staff, especially the health services staff and the activity staff, certainly got a lot of people down. The residents loved it.
There were a lot of residents.
Were
I
there
noticed.
any idea how many came down?
Well, I'm going to guess about 25.
Because I asked Susan if any, and how many had come, and she said quite a few.
I think it was about 25, because it was kind of, because they would have different groups. They'd have the early morning group, and they had a different group, and so different people came down with aides at different times. But
Yeah.
I have to believe it was about 25, which is
Yeah.
that's about a bigger turnout as we could ever hope of those who want to go.
Hmm.
So that worked out
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, good. And we also appreciate the help of Mountain View staff being at the field day.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. It's nice to have, and we've talked about it many times, cooperation amongst all our people on the complex. When an event is being held, it's nice to have somebody from the sheriff's department participating, which they did in the field day, nursing home did. The jail, Jason was there, something that they had planned, apparently didn't pan out, but at least they were getting involved in it. And so it's good to have other people participating whenever event is, whether it's at the nursing home, the farm, or wherever.
And we're willing to do even more.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that brings people in, it's great. It's
Yeah.
great community relations for the county.
Mm-hmm.
And that event certainly has great, even greater potential. So anything that
Okay.
we can do by logistical or moral support in the future, we'd be glad to. And Will is a pleasure to work with.
Yeah, good, good. And you know, thinking about that, I'm wondering if it might be interesting to see if you invited somebody from another department to come to that monthly breakfast, like somebody from Registry Deeds. They don't start until 9 o'clock. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They don't have any problem, but, you know, it might be good to have other, in the sheriff's department, don't invite the whole department, but invite, say, send it to the sheriff, say, we'd like to have a couple of your deputies come over to breakfast
I
on
think
that
that's a great
particular
idea.
time, you know? Same true for the jail.
No, I think that's a wonderful idea. That's,
Okay.
because I think the more that we can foster the sense that, you know, we're all county. I mean, that's,
Mhm.
it's going to be.
I mean, there's plenty of food. I don't
Oh, yeah.
think you ever run out of food there, but you may run out of help
We got to be careful. The
to
sheriff's
serve,
department comes
but-
over, we got to have to put on more, but other than that,
Yeah.
we'll be okay.
And I think I helped serve the last meeting we had, the last breakfast we had over there.
You stepped right
So-
up. You stepped right up.
And I think the
served.
commissioners would do that if you're short on help. Okay? All right. Thank you very much, Howie.
Thank you.
He's getting non-public coming up.
What's that?
He's getting non-public coming up.
Yes, he does.
I see. Oh,
No, I thought he was leaving.
Okay, we can't have public input until after our work session, so we're going to have to, well, there's a couple of items that we can do in business.
We approved that.
We approved the wood pellet contract, so then I'll sign it, and then you can take it back to,
I'd be glad to.
so I have a question about agenda. Why is the work session at the end? We have first people coming into non-public?
um,
7:31.
Okay. We have a grant from the State Victim Assistance grant application. She normally gets, from Melissa Smith, she normally gets $25,000. I think it may have been increased to 26, or just a little over 25,000. It always goes into our budget, and it's always been approved in the past. So if I have your permission to sign it as the chairperson.
May I look at it, please? I guess I have a question on this, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Under the budget itemized continued, maybe it's on this front page where the amount is.
There's certain items that are in that grant that money has to go towards.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think
what it is.
also, my understanding is it's been pretty flexible. We can have her come in if you like.
Well, if I'm reading this correctly, personnel, other funds, the total is $43,500. Social Security and other fringe benefits. Oh, I see, they've added them up at the bottom, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll make a motion, we accept the grant application for the state witness assistance program.
Second it. Any further
And the
discussion?
grant, and the amount of money in the grant is
So
26,500.
26,000. We accept the state witness, whatever they call it,
State
Victim
Victim Witness Grant
Yeah.
application.
for $25,000. 26,500.
500. I'll second it. Any further discussion? All those in support of me signing this grant application, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and so ordered. Okay. Then we will need to have a motion to go into non-public for Howie and Lynette.
I will make a-
For what reason? Personnel?
Yes, I just want to say quick one more thing. We got a bill for computer projects of ill messenger license, $624. I don't know what it is. I probably have to ask maybe Mr. Rich from Cybertron or the
Yep.
IT committee is not
Wouldn't that
meeting.
come up under work session, Mr.
Yep.
Chairman?
We'll bring it up in the work session. So I'll make a motion that we go into non-public according to 91,
A, B, C, D, and E, whatever.
right to know law, ABC 1, 2, and 3. I hope that's correct. Do you have that written down anyplace?
No, that's why I always ask if we can put a reason on the agenda so we can put the RSA on.
It has been
So we
on the
can
agenda.
just- No, it is not where they coming for personnel. And the RSA, it's not, it is not on the agenda.
Well, let's have a roll call.
So Commissioner Babson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sorensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Kenney, yes.
Okay, we're now in non-public. Please excuse yourself, and we will get on with the non-public session. We will have Jason Johnson will be back at 10 o'clock. He has a personnel issue as well at the jail. We'll report that we had a non-public session and we sealed the minutes of that non-public session. We'll approve the minutes next week. Okay, we're in a work session now. And we'll bring up the
And
letters.
This is for the commissioners.
What's that?
This is for the commissioners, not the...
Work session is for commissioners, no questions asked by the public. That's what we started with. So we have some letters here from the law officers of Martin and Hipple, right to know request. Dear Mr. Sorensen, I represent Ed Comeau, as on whose behalf I make this request. Please direct all communication regarding this matter to my office. As you know, Richard P. Sullivan recently settled a civil action which was filed against Carroll County and other defendants. This case was filed in the United States District Court for the District of New Hampshire and docketed 11 CV 39-1-JL. Please provide me with the settlement agreement executed to settle this claim. Additionally, please inform me how much monetary compensation was provided to Richard Moulton in settlement of this claim. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact my office. Seth Hipple. As I said in our meeting, this was not handled by us, it was handled by Primex, so we will send him back a letter saying he needs to contact Primex to get that information. They're the ones that handled the case, they're the ones that settled it. All I know is that it was settled. Okay? Number 2, and this is what makes it time-consuming to have all these right-to-know requests. Dear Mr. Sorensen, again, representing Ed Comeau, as an addendum to request number EC02, which I sent on July 25th, 2013, please also include the following in your answer. A statement of how much Janice Sullivan is expected to receive from the county from the date of her termination, as defined in your answer to number 2 of this request, until 5 years from that date. Number 2 of this request until 5 years from that day. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but written by a partner in the firm. We will send him that information. That's readily available.
What is EC02?
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to ask him that question.
So how many is this the third?
This is the third one, a right-to-know request. And this is regards to Janice Sullivan. As you know, Janice Sullivan recently left her position as Carroll County's Human Resource Director. It is our understanding that Ms. Sullivan stopped working for the county in April of 2013. Additionally, it is our understanding that Ms. Sullivan received approximately $9,000 in gross pay from May 3rd, 2013 to June 14, 2013. Please provide the following. The last date on which Ms. Sullivan performed any actual work for the county, we can do that. The date on which Ms. Sullivan's employment was terminated, we can do that. A statement of how much Ms. Sullivan received in gross pay for her last day of actual work is defined in your answer to number 1 above to the present, we can do that. A statement of how much Ms. Sullivan received in gross pay from her termination date as defined in your answer to number 2 above to the present. A statement of how much Ms. Sullivan received in gross pay from her termination, okay? An explanation as to why she was entitled to the gross pay received in your answers to 3 and 4, along with any documentation that supports your answer. As you prepare your answer, please be aware that the New Hampshire Supreme Court has ruled that salary information is not exempted pursuant to right-to-know law. We understand that. And so we can provide that. One thing we can't provide is to explanation as to why she was entitled to that.
Is it another one?
It had a busy week.
Okay, same heading. I understand that the county released non-public minutes from March 13th, 2003 to Mr. Comeau, who is, see attached, but redacted them prior to disclosure. This is not lawful. Pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 91A33, unless the minutes are sealed for specific reasons as stated in RSA by a recorded vote of 2/3 of the members, minutes of non-public sessions shall be publicly disclosed within 72 hours of the meeting. Emphasis added. The minutes should be released in their entirety. There is no basis for redacting them. Additionally, it is our understanding that many, if not all, of the non-public minutes from 208 Additionally, it is our understanding that many, if not all, of the non-public meetings from 208 to present have not been properly sealed by a 2/3 vote. That's not true. Therefore, all copies of non-public minutes, non-public meetings, not properly sealed, should be released to the public and properly posted in accordance with the statute. Therefore, Mr. Comeau demands the following to the right-to-know law. Please forward a full, unredacted copy of minutes and any decisions made at the non-public session from March 13th to 2013. Or if you claim the minutes were properly sealed, forward a copy of the recorded vote sealing the minutes made within the 72-hour period followed by the statute. In that case, the minutes were sealed in non-public, and those non-public cannot be released. For all non-public meetings from January 2008 to present, please forward full, unredacted copies of the minutes and any decisions made. Each such meeting. I don't know where he went to school, but it doesn't sound right to me. Or if you claim the minutes of any such meeting were properly sealed, forward a copy of the recorded vote sealing the minutes within 72-hour period following the statute. For all non-public meetings mentioned in number 2 above, which were not properly sealed, please immediately comply with your statutory obligation to post the meeting minutes so that they are visible to the public. Your failure to comply in a timely manner with the above 3 demands will result in litigation, at which time Mr. Comeau, our recorder here, will seek that you personally reimburse any attorney's fees incurred by him in holding you to your statutory duties. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact my office. Best regards, Seth Hipple. I want the general public to know that this takes a lot of time, our commissioners, to go through all these sessions, all these letters of request for 92A,
91.
in 91A, I'm sorry, in that this last one here, all dated July 25th, the minutes were sealed in non-public. They were not brought out in public that they were sealed. So we will not be able to answer, I don't believe, a portion of his letter regarding when they were sealed, because they were sealed in non-public. You notice today that I did mention that we had a non-public session, and that I did announce that in public session that they were sealed. That goes along with what Mr. Brown had requested a week ago, if not several weeks ago.
Yep, the minutes are sealed from today's sessions. I have a question about your first 91A, what you read. You said something about, what was that about? Primex, was it about a settlement
It was
from
Moulton.
Mr. Moulton?
Well, Mr. Moulton,
You
yep.
said he need to call Primex, but the 91A is, it is here, it's proposed to the commissioners.
Well,
And
I have
it's
no
our-
information.
It is our health insurance, so why are we redirecting people to call the health insurance? Is it not our duty to?
Well, it was a liability. They represented us in court.
Yeah, but is it not our job to get that information and provide it or not to them? Because now you're telling the public, yeah, just go to Primex to get it. And I don't think that Primex is giving information to the public. Primex will give information to us, the county.
No, they have not given us any information other than that. I got a letter saying that it was settled, and I think the word was reasonably. And that's all. There was no dollar figure. There was nothing else.
Oh, I never
Other
saw
than that, it was
letter.
settled. I'll find it.
I never saw
My
that
guess
letter.
is that both parties signed a confidentiality agreement when they settled it. I don't know, I haven't seen it.
That's normally what Primex does.
Usually what happens.
Yep. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. I had a call from Maurice Dennery. From Hale's location, and it was in regards to the children in Hale's location going to Freiburg Academy. I honestly don't remember ever bringing that up at a commissioners meeting, that we had agreed that all children in Hale's location would go to Freiburg Academy. We discussed it, we were looking into it, but I know that because we didn't make any arrangements for any transportation for those kids to go from Hale's location to Freiburg Academy. I returned his call, and this was a call made to my home, and said that to the effect that we had not approved that. He sent a copy of the letter where we had signed it, all three of us. I honestly don't remember signing it. And I would reject the notion that we approved that at a meeting, because I don't believe we did. We're not forcing children in Hale's location to go to Freiburg Academy, even though it's at a very inexpensive tuition fee to go to Freiburg Academy. Commissioner Babson.
Thank you, Dave. I also talked to Dr. Dennery and told him that my last recollection of the discussion was that why could Chatham, New Hampshire go to Freiburg Academy as a public school, but the students, we were told, couldn't get funding from the state of New Hampshire because Freiburg Academy was a private school. And that's the last we signed something here, but it had nothing to do with sending an application from Freiburg Academy to students in Hale's location to get them enroll them at Freiburg. I have no idea where this came from or how this got twisted, but I thought Kathy was going to call the lady up in Hale's location. Did she?
And she did.
And what was the answer that came with that?
So what is this?
Letter sent to my attention with application enclosed, signed by all three commissioners. All right, this went to Kathy Armstrong. I don't know what she did find out, but let me read the letter. Dear Mr. Dennery, in an effort to reduce cost and taxes, we are requesting the high school students from Hale's location apply to Freiburg Academy. Please complete the enclosed application and submit one copy to Hale's location tax collector's office at the mailing address above, and a second copy directly to Freiburg Academy. The envelopes are enclosed. And it was signed by all three of us.
I never signed anything like that. I don't know how my name got on it.
No, I believe it was here, we signed it.
What?
We did sign it here.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Signed
You
something,
brought it up.
but it
and
wasn't,
I-
had anything to do with sending a kid to Freiburg
But that is what
Academy.
it said, that is what you
I
signed.
know, it says.
Oh, you signed it too?
Yeah, we all sign it.
Okay.
So,
So we're all at fault, I think, because
yeah, we
we never,
signed it. You said
we
you
never
wanted us to
arranged for
approve.
transportation, which we'd have to do. And this has nothing to do with Carroll County, this has everything to do with Hale's location and the Board of Commissioners as a selectman in Hale's location. So it doesn't have anything to do with the county. It says we are requesting the high school students from Hale's location apply to Freiburg Academy. Well, that can be done. There has been students from Hale's location that have gone to Freiburg Academy, and they've paid the tuition. I don't know whether the, well, I won't say it. Anyway, what's the feeling of this board regarding this situation?
Well, absolutely, I wouldn't insist that anybody from Hale's location fill out any application to Freiburg. We haven't done anything with it.
Right.
And we've been told the state wouldn't pay for it, to boot. You people were told years ago, I wasn't.
Yep.
I wasn't on the board.
I would suggest that we send a letter to the clerk, our clerk at Hale's location.
Tell them we're not moving
And tell them
forward with
that
this.
we are still investigating or researching what the possibilities are. There is a tremendous savings for students going to Freiburg Academy from Hale's location.
High school student
High school.
from Hale's location is paying Conway $33,000 a year.
Right.
And it's nowhere near that for Freiburg.
Okay, is this an agreement that we send a letter to the taxpayer, the tax collector?
Well, maybe we should verify the information again, because I believe that you brought it up. You said we get an application, we need to approve it, but someone is going to the school.
I don't
from-
remember bringing it up.
Yes, I remember that you brought it up.
And I
you
would
said
have
we need-
never-
And you said we need to prove it, that's why we signed it. We signed it right here.
Well,
So
I agree
maybe-
with that, everybody signed it.
Yeah,
we're-
because you
we're-
brought it up.
well,
and
that's
said
my
we
signature.
need to approve this. Maybe next time we should ask for more information and ask the clerk or ask the person what it is precisely for, because we did sign it.
Boy, I don't remember that. Well, let's find out what Kathy found out. What's that, Dave?
This is regards to, again, Hale's location. There is assessing officials. We need to sign this also.
That one for the rebate?
Not rebates, I think it's for inventory of taxable property, Form 20, for 2014. This is for next year. Goes to the Department of Revenue Administration. This is our annual request to municipalities to determine whether the municipality will be utilizing the Form PA 28, Taxpayer Inventory Blank, in accordance with RSA 74 for 2014. If yes, please check the will. And our clerk has checked the will box. We will be using PA 28 Form 2014. And this is PA 28 for forms requested by the municipality for 2014, 150. Okay, this is an application, again from Hales Location, application for reimbursement to towns and cities in which federal and state forest land is situated, 2013. The town or city of Hales Location hereby makes application for reimbursement pursuant to RSA 227-H based on the facts set forth herein. List the name of the state or federal forest eligible, number of acres of state or federal forest land in the town or city, and per acre assessed value of land where taxable. White Mountain National Forest, the number of acres, 1,220 acres, value per acres, $874. Total assessed value, $1,666. $1,066,500 is the total assessed value. Echo Lake Cathedral Ledge State Park. Number of acres, 6,440. Total value per acre is $3,386. Total assessed valuation, $218,100. So, another place for a signature.
Asha needs to see that. White Mountain National Forest land is only assessed at $874 an acre.
That's according to,
DRA, DRED,
yeah, well,
or DRA or somebody.
it's also done by Comerford and Nita Perkins. They do the evaluations at Hales Location.
Timber on that's worth more than that.
This happens to be a bill from Comerford and Nita Perkins dealing with 4 pickups. I'm not sure what they were, and a Diavanzio abatement. That was looked at for $510. That's for the reimbursement.
And it is the other one.
This is all new to me. Who is this?
That's the assessing official that
Okay.
we've hired to do the assessing, and that's the
Okay.
number of hours that he put in looking at those properties.
And what is the rate? It's 100, says here. Is it 100 per lot, or is it 100 an hour, or
It
what?
must have been $25 for those 4 pieces that he looked at.
How about $100 a piece, because the bill's for $400?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, $100, you're right.
They get paid $100
Assessment? That's what it says, the pickups, there were 4.
And then it says Divanzio abatement, 1.25 hours.
They must have had to look at the evaluation again.
Oh, I see, okay, all right. Well, it's obvious that the pickups are $100 each because the abatement rate is, what, $70 an hour? Or $88 an hour, excuse me. We don't have to sign this, do we, Dave? Or do we someplace?
The check is all.
You're the only one on the check.
Yep.
Is that a secure way of doing business?
What's that?
Is that a secure way of doing business?
What's that?
Having only one person sign?
It always has been in Hale's location. As long as one of us signs.
Maybe we ought to rethink that.
Okay. You know, the only bills we do get is for her salary and for telephone, petty cash for stamps. In that particular case for, I would like to check on that. I think that's a little high.
Well, I mean, the least he could do is put his rate per hour down on here, so there's some idea of how long he worked.
Yeah. Another reason why we should encourage Hale's location to be a town, and we wouldn't get involved in extra work to handle their issues. Okay.
This was John Lyford did for Hills locations coming out their budget, eh?
Yep. Are you writing just minutes down, motions down in that book, or everything?
No, I cannot write everything, but motions, some notes. And that's the signature there. Nobody signed it.
I haven't signed it because I want to make sure that, I want to see the hourly rate, and I want to see, I think it's too high. Okay, still in work session. You need to sign this one?
I believe that is what he put in that agreement, and you signed that agreement for Lyford.
Okay.
That was what is put in.
Okay, you need to
What
sign
was the
that one?
question? But where do I need to sign it? Where do I need to sign?
Right here on the line.
It's a signature of assessing official.
We're responsible for that.
Are you sure that we need to sign here? I thought you're the only one because it said signature of the assessing official. So I thought somebody else needed to sign it. No. And Commissioner Babson need to sign too?
Yep.
All our audits and more things there. You have some more checks.
What's that?
I saw that you had some more checks and other things.
Oh, it's just telephone and her rate. Okay, anything else to be brought up under the work session?
Well, I meant to ask Jason about the road in front of the jail, but he got away too quick, so I don't know what that, and the other thing is, who is in charge of that clock?
You are from now on.
I will take care of it.
Which clock is the one?
Not only that clock, the one downstairs too.
All the clocks have a different time.
Buy a new one downstairs, that one they picked up somewhere. It's not a new one. And that doesn't work either.
Well,
What else you got?
Put a fresh battery in it, it might.
No, they put a fresh battery and it still doesn't work.
Okay.
I did that, or I asked that they do it. They did it.
Do you want one that birds on it that give
I
bird
just-
songs or?
A very inexpensive one that
Okay.
works.
Okay.
Anything else to be brought up in the
Well,
work
like
session?
I said before, the computer projects of ill messenger license, $624. I just want to know what it is.
Okay.
Computer projects, I don't know if I have to ask Mr. Rich of Cybertron, or,
It's an annual affair, annual,
yeah, but what is it? For what? I don't understand
Okay.
for what it is.
What is that sheet, David? I've never seen
this
one
is
of
a,
those.
this is the printout of our bills.
Is it done on a weekly basis?
It can be done whenever you would like to have a copy.
Oh, okay.
I'm not, well, it could be done weekly if you wanted it.
Well, what is this one?
Put a
From?
bill there downstairs, what I put a note there.
What?
I put a note there about a bill. You see
Just
that?
question.
Oh, I see that one,
Yes.
no, but is this from January 1st through
No, this is just what coming in is from July 20.
July,
yeah.
okay.
You all done with this one?
Yes.
This one, Commissioner
Uh-huh.
Kenney, was written out on the back of the check that we signed, because I remember questioning
Yeah.
the same thing.
I just want to know what it is. I don't understand what it is. Ill messenger licenses.
Do you remember what it was for?
No, I
I
don't,
will
but I
ask.
remember questioning it.
I will ask him. Yeah. Thank you.
Again, I'll ask, anything else we brought up under the work session?
I had a letter, what I gave to you, what we get by email about a company was asking information, but
Oh, it's
if the
right here.
information was not given.
I have it.
You have it?
Yeah.
It was a different company, I believe it is an audit company from Concord.
That gets destroyed.
It does.
There's names on it. All right, all it says is that they're not going to
Not gonna bid on it.
submit a bid.
Because he didn't get the information, he didn't get a copy of the.
The other
audit of
two apparently
2010.
got it. I don't know why
No,
they
they
didn't get
didn't
it.
get it.
The other two
Of course they
that we
got it.
just,
Bid on it.
we just approved, they got it.
It was in the ad.
Yeah, but they've been asking for a copy of the audit of 2010.
They all received it. Anything else to be
I
brought
don't
up?
think so, but I will check it. The two companies.
they get an audit if it wasn't done?
It was no audit done, so they didn't get it. The two companies didn't ask for it, only this company asked for it. So they cannot
We could
get
have
it
called
because-
the ad, we could have told them.
Yeah, okay. Again, anything else to be brought up? Work
No.
session? I think at some point, I don't know if this was a non-public or not.
We'll try it out and somebody in here will tell us.
Oh, gee.
Regarding union contracts at the jail.
Union contract.
About others joining.
Oh, as far as I know, we haven't seen any more than the gentleman that came in and told us they were thinking about it. That was the last I heard about it.
Okay, I guess the question is, would we object to other people joining the union contract at the jail?
I
That
mean,
was the message.
Other employees becoming member of the union.
Right,
You're not talking about us being able to go to the negotiations. Like
Right.
we-
right.
Okay.
So I think we need to decide and tell our attorney who is representing us with the union as to what the privilege is for the Board of Commissioners as to allowing others to join the jail or the union contract at the jail, at the House of Corrections.
Doesn't 91A specifically exempt union negotiation?
Yes, it does.
I don't think we should tip our hand.
Okay, then we will wait. Anything else to be brought up?
No.
If not, do I hear a motion?
I make a
Public
motion we
input?
adjourn. Oh, Public input, sure.
Public input.
Excuse me.
Okay, we're into public input. Got 15 minutes. Go ahead, Melissa.
I have 15 minutes all to myself.
We have 15 minutes for public input.
New Hampshire law, RSA 273A:8, says that supervisory employees are not allowed to be in the same union as people that they supervise.
That's correct. Well, I shouldn't say that. Normally supervisors do not belong to the union.
Right, there's actually a law
However,
that specifically prohibits that.
However, there are other counties where supervisors are in the union, but they did not care to object to it at the time. But-
It's interesting, so you're saying that in other counties supervisors are in the same union as their employees?
Yeah.
Because I know that in one county, I believe it's Hillsborough, they have a nursing home union, and then they have a nursing home supervisors union. And at the jail, they have a jail employees union, and then they have a jail supervisors union.
They have to have,
But they're the only ones that I know of that have a separate supervisors union.
I believe they have to have 10 members or more to start their own union.
Yes.
It seems weird to want to intermingle jail supervisors with employees. That doesn't even, I can't imagine that would be legal.
We haven't decided what action we take on it yet.
And that was revised, that RSA was revised in 2011, so I don't know what was added in 2011,
Yeah.
but,
Go ahead. Commissioner Jackson?
What RSA was that, 728,
it's
273.
Chapter 273,
273?
A:8.
A. I'm really pushing my limits here.
You get email on that? Can I just email the link to you? How's that? It could be
I
on
think I got it here.
2013.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
I got a couple things. The subcommittee of the delegation decided that the performance audit would start with the commissioners.
With what?
we would start with the commissioners, the commission and the administration. I was wondering how the commissioners felt about that.
That's the first I heard of it.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
Okay.
Monday?
Oh, okay.
And Chris Algren did make a point of saying it's not going to be a witch hunt. It's just about looking at the systems and how everything works and money handling and all sorts of stuff.
And how did that come out? Was it in the paper?
No, well, I went to the meeting. I haven't read the story yet because I was going to see how you felt about it.
Which meeting?
The delegation subcommittee.
I guess we weren't aware that the subcommittee had a meeting.
Met Monday.
Huh?
The subcommittee met Monday?
Did you know about it?
Yeah.
So why was it not advertised? Didn't get any notice, no email, nothing?
I didn't
It's
get
on
any
the
notice.
website.
It is
It
on the
was
website.
posted downstairs.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Frankly, I think it's a good idea, David.
Sure.
And the letter about Hale's location, did that go to everybody? Or
About
was it-
what?
And the letter to Hale's location about encouraging people to send their kids to
I don't know.
That go to one person or everybody?
There are not many students in Hale's location, so it didn't go to everybody. I assume it went to those that have high school age students.
David?
Yeah.
I talked to Dr. Demery, and he said that there's only one high school student. On my understanding, he said there was only one high school student, and that's why he got it.
That was his then.
And what was the name of the Portland auditor? Robert?
Polio.
Beaulieu.
For you Norwegians or Denmark people, that's Bulio.
And Company, certified public accountants.
And so we needed an audit going back from, we're going to audit 2011, 2012,
Correct.
and that's what was approved today, and he's going to do it.
Yes.
That was what was voted on today. Yeah.
And does this catch us up with the law, or have we been complying with the applicable laws already and we're just doing something extra? Do you have a sense of that?
It's required for us to have an audit.
Okay. So we're just doing a little catch-up, pretty much.
I guess I'd say that with 2011, yes.
Okay.
Mr. Brown, first.
Who pays for the monthly breakfast?
Who what?
Who pays for the monthly breakfast?
The nursing home provides the meal for all the residents at that monthly breakfast. Only 3 of us go to it.
Well,
I have gone to it in the past, and they've only had 2, I think, maybe.
so we, the taxpayers pay for the monthly breakfast?
The taxpayers pay for the meals at the nursing home.
For the I'm excluding the residents.
I believe all the meals for the staff are paid by the taxpayers of Carroll County.
Including the 3 commissioners?
I guess they did, yes. We were invited to go to their meeting, their breakfast.
But yet the taxpayers have to pay to get a cup of coffee here.
Commissioners do too.
Commissioners
But-
have.
So can the taxpayers go over and get a free breakfast every month?
I don't know how to answer that question, Mr. Brown.
You voted today to spend an additional, I believe it's $21,000 to do the 2011 audit.
$19,758.
Moved more than that, about
$750.
That's
So-
normal.
But you voted today to spend 19,000 wherever,
Yep.
and you have no idea where that $19,000 is.
Yeah, we have an idea where it might come from.
Well, but you need to know. How do you just say, well,
We would transfer money from one account to another account, and if it comes out of a different account, we have to go to the delegation to get them to approve it.
Right, but that 19,000, whatever it is, that was budgeted for. So if you're gonna take the 19,000 out of the air and use it for the audit, then what that $19,000 was budgeted for, what happens to that?
If it was budgeted in 2011, it was money that was left over. As it goes back to the county, it's reported as surplus because it was not spent that year.
I think you need to know where the money's coming from prior to spending it. You can't, I mean, anybody out in the, you just don't say, well, okay, I need to do an audit. People don't operate like that. I mean, I'm sure all the taxpayers have a checkbook, and they don't say, well, we need groceries this week, but we don't know where the money's going to come from. We'll just go to the store and buy our groceries, and we don't know. You can't do that. You have to know where the money's coming from before you can spend it. It's like spending money like you stole it.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Brown?
No, I think that about wraps it up.
Okay.
No.
Melissa, you have something?
I had a question about audits. I haven't been able to find in the law where counties are even required to have one.
I don't know where the law is, but I know all counties have auditors.
And it's
Right.
only
It's-
business practice to
it's-
have it.
Yeah.
So it's not actually mandated by law, it's just good
Don't
financial
know
practice?
that. Kathy Gary may know that answer.
Okay, because I can't
I don't.
find it anywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it is good practice to have it for transparency, and especially if we have a new nursing home built. I believe $26 million taxpayers' money. There should be an audit coming on that.
On another financial thing, there had been some work being done about policies on the various departments, writing out how they handle money.
Right.
How's that coming? What's happening?
We did get it from the sheriff's
We got
department.
it from the nursing home, we got it from the sheriff's department.
Yep. We will
We'll put one in, and I guess the only one we've got left to go is the registry.
Registry of Deeds, yeah.
Okay. And then you're going to do the ones for the business office after all of those are done?
Well, apparently there's going to be a, what'd you call it?
The performance
Well, the
audit.
Performance audit
She's probably going to
of
wait
the
for that
commissioners,
to make
which would show that, yeah.
Okay. Do you know if the bank accounts are being balanced every month now?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
In regards to Hill's location
Right.
and previous discussion in your work session,
Yep.
I don't know how this information may impact your questioning of the document that you all signed. There was an individual that was present during the budget committee hearing. As you
Yes, it
recall,
was.
came in
Yes, it was.
representation, and a request was made for monies to be allotted for transportation to the Freiburg Academy. I don't know whether or not it was accepted or not. Maybe that has something to do with that document you signed.
Okay, I don't remember that. Okay.
Okay?
I remember him being here.
I remember him being here.
He sat right over here.
Yes,
but
he
I
did.
don't
That's
remember
correct.
the
Yeah.
discussion about
And he-
transportation, John.
He is the chairman or president of the Hales Location Association, which has no responsibility with schools, fire, or ambulance. We do invite them to participate, to get their reaction to the contracts.
Right.
And that's probably where it came out.
But I do believe you did make a request for monies to be budgeted,
Okay,
if I recall correctly.
okay.
What was the date of the letter that you signed?
June 28th.
This year?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I'm still absolutely shocked.
To sign it, I remember you brought it and said they wanted to go to
that school.
Anything else? Hear a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Is there anything else for
No.
the board? Okay, you made a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Second it?
11:35.
All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and so voted. I will see that the clerk gets a letter to this person.